What's up, guys? It's Blake with Y2K. Before we talk about today's topic, it's time to floor the S600. Oh yeah. Feel the power. This car never disappoints. Alright guys, we're doing our final goodbye drive in the S600. I got some surge, because, you know, I figured I'd have a Y2K approved drink in my Y2K approved car. Sure does sound nice when you open the cans on these things, doesn't it? Tastes just like I remember. I haven't had a surge, I think since middle school. Maybe I had one at the Rad Junk shop my buddy owns a year or so ago. But you know, this is kind of a bittersweet deal. I'm selling the car. I sold it for $12,000. I had to spend about 300 bucks, I guess, total. I had to get some shifter bushings for the automatic shifter. It was a little bit loose, so we fixed that. And then I rebalanced all the tires with a road force balancer. Had a small shimmy, and it appears to have fixed that. So that's great. And I put one new tire on the driver front side because it had a slight pull and it was a factory defect. So I put that on for the new owner. When I bought this car, it needed a little bit of work. It was kind of a diamond in the rough, but the mileage was great, and I bought it from the original owner, the second one to title it, and it kind of stayed within the family. So, you know, I did the rear suspension when I bought it, the reservoirs. It's actually a hydraulic rear suspension. So I did that. There's like these little rubber reservoirs you change out, and it was sagging a little bit, so I raised it back up. I did the steering wheel sensor, which is what the car uses to make the traction control and the ride leveling work and all that. I did that. I did, what else did I do? There's so many things I did. I did all the coolant, not all the coolant, I did all the fluids, every fluid possible in the car. I flushed it out with brand new fluid. I changed the spark plugs, and I changed the transmission gasket. I think I changed the transmission pan, maybe? I can't remember exactly. I tried to fix the windshield wiper motors. One works and one doesn't. The one I got from eBay for the side that was having an issue doesn't work. I just sent it back, and I figured it wasn't really worth the time to get those to work. Living in Florida, I'm never going to use them. But someone could get them working again if they desire to have a perfect 97 S600. I did new brakes also all the way around, and I repainted the factory wheels, and they came out great. Plus, all new tires. Last but not least, I got a new sunroof visor handle from Hamburg, Germany. Is it really Hamburg? I don't know, but that's what they said. And gone in 60 seconds. Because don't forget, 90s Mercedes are unstealable, okay? Unfortunately, when it was at the shop getting all this work, someone decided to tap the car. They just barely tapped the tail light, so much so that it's like a hairline crack. And I decided just to leave that alone because the car is all original, and I didn't want to have a mismatched taillight. I didn't want to replace both taillights because then I'd have to do the headlights, and it was just like a domino effect over that. The lady actually tried to do a hit and run, which was not very nice, and we caught her in the act, and then she actually gave me like 200 bucks to just kind of appease the situation. But they definitely tried to hightail it out of the shop parking lot. I think they were doing a U-turn in there or something. But this car has been so good, and it really does live up to the testament of like the last kind of true luxury S-Class Mercedes. The V12 is just like the smoothest engine I've ever felt. You know, the Diablo has a 12-cylinder as well, but it's not smooth like this, because this is more just like of a luxury, you know, feel to it. Tons of sound happening in here. You know, it's a double pane glass. But the motor, this motor was designed for effortless, you know, performance. It was not supposed to be loud or anything like that, although if you do straight pipe it, it does sound like a Zonda, which is pretty freaking cool, but I never got around to doing that. But overall, it's been flawless. I did all the maintenance. I think I spent about $4 or $5 grand total with labor and parts. I replaced the rear view mirror here. It's a self-dimming mirror and it works great. The other one was a little bit loose. I replaced the passenger side view mirror and that works great. A little piece of plastic fell off of it though. I'm not even sure how that happened. Maybe it was just old. But it works great. All the memory functions work. Radio works. Cell phone works. Both cell phones. It has 2 cell phones. Power rear shade works. Power recline works in the rear. Even the power headrests fold up and down. I mean, it really is just a testament to the build quality they did back there, you know, back in the 90s with these cars. You know, this car cost about $1 billion. Yeah, $1 billion with a B to, you know, R&D and create. And, you know, people were fired over this thing because, you know, they wanted to do it perfect one time. And, you know, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it with this car. Now, you might want to say, why am I selling the car? Well, if you've seen my driveway, it's pretty much maxed out. And doing the Cupid shuffle every day, trying to figure out which car I'm going to drive, is a little bit cumbersome. Right now, we're at 5 cars is kind of like the limit of what I want to keep. I say that, and then I might change my mind, but right now, 5 is like the max. So I want another car, and the only way to really make that happen is to sell this car. I've had, you know, I bought it in like February, and I got my enjoyment out of it. I got the full S600 VIP experience, and so yeah, I think I've gotten my money's worth. I'm gonna pretty much break even on the car after buying it and then putting some money in. I might make a couple $100, but I saved the car, and you know, it's gonna live on forever. Like I said, when I bought it, it needed a little bit of work, and I resurrected it, and that makes me feel good. And believe it or not, this car is actually being bought by Jim Best of Savage Garage. He helps film and do some editing for the videos. I think he's also in a few of them as well. If you haven't seen Savage Garage, they're a new channel, but they're growing extremely fast. I'll link them down below in the description. They do all kinds of stuff with new supercars. And but I'm hoping the old S600 will make a feature on there just so I can reminisce about it a little bit. They have a lot more subscribers than I do, so maybe they'll send some people our way. He's actually got an S320 on AMG monoblocks, a 99. So this is a very logical and sensible Y2K upgrade for him, and I hope he puts the AMG wheels on this car. If I were him, I would do the wheels, I would tint the windows, and I would also do some kind of cutout exhaust. I would like to keep the stock sound, but whenever I wanted, I would like to make it sound like a Zonda. So those are about the only things, you know, I would really do to it. Other than that, it's absolutely perfect. This armrest has a little bit of wear. Maybe I would change that out. But everything else is just solid, and it's a great daily driver. I'm in a lot of construction right now, which you can't tell, but it just floats over everything. It's the ideal daily driver. So I'm a little sad, to be honest, that I'm selling it, but I've had a great time in it. I did want to do a cross-country trip to Blockbuster. The only remaining Blockbuster open in the world is in Oregon. I can't remember the actual name of the town in Oregon, but you know, I wanted to take it there with my friends, but it's probably like a 2-week deal, and it's hard for our friends to get time off. I work from home, and so does my wife, so it's hard for them to get time off. So that was we could have probably figured it out, and maybe we will in the new, whatever new car I get, if it's big enough. But that was kind of one of the things I really wanted to do in this car that I didn't get to do. But you know, you're probably wondering what's next, and me too, because I really don't know. I have a few ideas. Maybe a 90s Supra. You saw I went and looked at the 2020 Supra, and it didn't quite do it for me. I know it's fast. Ran a 1078 at 128 TPG tuning, just did that, which is insane fast, and I'm sure we're going to see plenty of new Supras that want to go fast on October 19th and 20th in Ocala. But in addition to that, we're also hosting a Y2K car show for 90 to 09 vehicles at Ocala. And your car show entry, which is only 30 bucks if you do it online, includes admission to wannaGOFAST. So it's a great deal. We're gonna have a whole separate area for Y2K. We're gonna have music and, you know, all kinds of stuff there, period correct. I'll link the tickets above for the Y2K show. Also, come dressed to impress for the Y2K car show, I have to say. put on your Abercrombie, your Hollister from high school, put on a windbreaker from the 90s that you've kept around, or go to a vintage clothing store, because we're going to be giving out prizes for best dressed. And we're also going to be giving out, of course, awards for all kinds of different stuff for cars that we think are fly and Y2K approved. So we're going to be selling these Y2K shirts right here, actually for sale. I'll link that above. You can buy those right now. They're in stock, ready to go. You'll get it in 2 to 3 days. So we're starting our tangible items. We've got the YouTube channel, and now we're going to start doing our events and selling our merchandise. And our website's done, y2k.net. I'll write that down here. And you know, I just look forward to you know, expanding the Y2K name, and you know, and having a great time, you know, celebrating cars from the 90s and 2000s with you guys. But anyways, it's been nice chatting with you, drinking my Surge, and I hope you guys have an amazing Y2K day. And if you like what you saw today on the channel, be sure to hit that like button. That really helps us out. Subscribe, you know, very important, because the more subscribers we get, the more cool stuff we can do, the more cars we can buy, and the more Y2K experiences we can share with you guys. So anyways, stay fly, and we'll see you next time.